Good morning and welcome back to your financial independence. So, Planet 13, one of the stocks that I own, had some really good news come out here recently, a little bit on their conference call. But first, we're going to go over some of the news that just came out, and then we're going to get into some of the numbers and then the conference call, some notes that I jotted down that I really wanted to point out. So, thank you for watching, and let's get on with the video. So, some news that's kind of on the down low right now, I don't see a whole lot of people reporting on it, is Planet 13 to enter the Florida medical market. So they're basically going to be doing a deal with Harvest of a $55 million deal where basically they're going to buy stores locations or one of the locations and the license that goes along with the store, because you need a license to sell this product, obviously. And they're basically going to get the whole entire store license for $55 million in cash. And we're going to get in what they said they had on their balance sheet on their conference call. So plenty of money still left around. And then they're basically going to take the store and rebrand it into Planet 13 Florida. So as you see here, to be renamed Planet 13 Florida Incorporated, will purchase a license to operate as a medical marijuana treatment center. The license issued by the Florida Department of Health to the seller, and no other assets or liabilities from the seller, for $55 million in cash. So now we have a quote from Larry Sheffield, which is the co-CEO of Planet 13. I think he's a phenomenal executive for this company. So Florida has long been one of the most coveted markets, with over 20 million residents, 130 million annual visitors, with incredible consumer demand already demonstrated with their medical program that they have now. It was important for us to enter the market prior to the transition of the adult use, which would be recreational, to put the pieces in place to capitalize on the market in both the short and long term, said Larry Sheffield, which is the co-CEO. So that was really interesting. I am glad that they're starting to get in these markets that are not now medical. That way they can build their brand. Because think about it, people that don't watch stocks or anything like that, if they're in Florida and they don't really travel to the West Coast a lot, they're not going to know what Planet 13 is. They would have no idea. So getting your brand to multiple different sides of the country is very important, in my opinion. So now we're going to point out some key numbers in their earnings call. So Planet 13 triples their revenue in Q2 all the way to $32.8 million. So Q2 2021 revenue, $32.8 million, up 205% compared to Q2 of 2020. And then Q2 2021 adjusted EBITDA of $7.2 million, which phenomenal numbers, especially if you were looking into this company a year ago. I mean, the company is leaps and bounds better than it was a year ago. More cash on hand, more revenue, just growth everywhere and less risk. So now I want to get into, I wrote down some notes, as I'll do with all of my conference calls. I want to get into some of the important things that was on the conference call that you really can't see anywhere else. That's why it's important to listen to all the conference calls whenever they have them webcasted. So brands are growing very strong. Planet 13 has now the number 2 and the number 6 brand for HaHa gummies, and then the other brand I can't think of right now. But they're now number 2 and number 6 in the state of Nevada, which is very awesome. There's thousands of brands out there, and they're number 2 and number 6. So the Cali operations, $11.9 million in the very first quarter since it's open. We'll have more on that later, which I thought was really important, and I love that Larry Sheffield actually spoke about that. So long-term gross margins target is 50%, and they also said the California operation they have now will lower this in the short term due to lower prices. It's more competitive in California. Now, $136 million cash on hand. You've seen that they're going to do that deal for $55 million. They basically have very, very little debt. That's why they're using cash to pay for this company. So, I mean, it's going to be all paid for. They also stated, which I'm glad they hit on this, all CapEx paid for the Cali facility. So finalizing indoor lounge for the Las Vegas store that they have now. The Cali store open on time and is in budget. So they spent $6 million for license and $8 million for the build out of the location. On time and on budget. That goes to show you a lot about the management team. That's the two biggest things, don't overspend and open on time. And they've done both of those things. So that becomes more and more important as this brand name starts to build out to more and more states, as you'll see. So it takes time to build. This is what they said in the conference call, because one of the questionnaires had asked this question. It takes time to build out the foot traffic for new locations. Just give it time. That's what they're talking about, the new California facility, which I have full confidence in the management. So that goes to show me that the management has confidence in its brand name and its store, all the workers it hires, like they have full confidence, or else they would be worried and now they're selling their shares. So organic advertisement is free. As they stated, people that's just a common thing to take pictures in front of the Planet 13 Las Vegas sign. Get spread all over social media. So it's organic advertisement. Get spread everywhere. And people are like, oh, you went to Vegas. What was that place you went to again? I'm going to go there. Free advertisement. And now, new location license in Chicago. Large population and tourism, and we all know that this is one of the states that they had been looking at to get in, and now they have a license for this place. So what am I doing right now? I'm building cash in my portfolio on the side just in case the market dips. Look at the S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ. We're reaching all-time highs. It keeps going up and up and up. We're going to eventually have a correction. Stocks don't always go up. That's why I've been buying a lot of small cap stocks recently, just because I feel like that's where the value is. Even for growth stocks, that's where the value is right now, in my personal opinion. What am I doing with Planet 13 stock? I've already said it in my past videos. $4.50 is my next buy target. If it does go down to there, I've already built out a pretty healthy position in this stock. If it goes down to about $4, that's kind of like load the boat, as Jeremy Lafay would say, in my personal opinion, because I would like to get up to potentially 3,000 shares in this company. And with that, thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day.